Okay, problem 7F, the final one on the review. Cool. This one is a diverging lens, and it gave us a P of 5 centimeters, a focus of 2 centimeters, and a height of 2 centimeters. And then I have my rules which I modified in the last problem, or the last video, that I'm using my lens formula for R3. Basically the same stuff we've been doing all along. There's not too many changes in rules as we're drawing this stuff. So let's draw our horizontal. Let's draw a lens. Okay. Now let's draw my P. My P was 5 centimeters. So here's my P, which gives me an object that goes up 2. I have an F of 2. And this is a lens, so there's going to be a focus on both sides. And then just for visual, a diverging lens kind of looks like that hourglass or the Black Widow belly, whatever you want. I'm good. I'm now ready to start drawing my rays. The first ray, as always, starts at the top of our object and goes parallel to the horizontal, perpendicular to the lens, and hits. And because I see this curvature, I have to decide which of the focus I'm going to use. Looking at that, this should go up. If it's going to go up, it's going to be according to this focus right here. And so I line that up, and bam. Got a little sloppy there. Good. That's my first one. Cool. My second ray, my red one, I just used this focus. I want to use the other focus. So I'm going to aim my ruler from the object directly at the other focus. Bam. And when I hit the lens, it then bends and goes horizontal from then on. I then evaluate. Look, this line and this line are never going to intersect. I need to draw their imaginary or virtual aspects on the other side. So let's pick out this one. That's its imaginary or virtual. I then go back to ray 1 and draw its virtual. I also always try to make sure that I draw a dash where they cross as I'm drawing it. It helps for labor. And then my final line, my R3, goes from the object through the center of the lens. And the center of the lens is right there. So I'm going to connect those 2 points. And bam, look at that. That is my object. Okay, so through measurement. Okay, that's 2 centimeters, that's 1. It's definitely over, so it's about 1.7. Now it's also 1.7 on the wrong side of the lens, so technically it's negative 1.7 centimeters. I'm not going to hold you to this negative positive for your Q answer, okay, but it is more accurate. The height of my object, so that was 2. So this one is that's just about 0.5. Give or take a little bit. It might be more like 0.6. It's hard to measure on this board. Again, your graph paper is going to increase your accuracy tremendously versus the non-graph paper thick markers that I'm using. But I want to verify that, so let's do the verification. 1 over P plus 1 over Q equals 1 over F. P was 5 plus Q equals 1 over, and what is F? F is 2. Okay. So if I set it up this way, I get a Q of 3.33. Well, that didn't match my work. So this is a point where some of you might get to, and it's okay, but my drawing and my Q value didn't match. Well, what's going on? Well, if I look at it, the focus I'm using, or that's on the side here, is this one. This is a negative focus, so this should be a negative here. So let's rework this now with a negative one. This was my positive focus Q answer, so let's do a negative focus Q answer. If that's the case, it would be 0.5 plus 0.2, 0.7, 1 divided by that, 1 divided by that, gives me an answer of 1.43. This is an indication that you either use the wrong Q or your lines are really bad. In this case, it's not a positive Q, it's going to be or positive focus, it's the negative focus. So 1.43. I would then relook at this, 1.7 or 1.43. You know what, let's draw it this way so it measures out. You know what, my line actually is about 1.5 on the nose, so this is actually a 5. So I did a poor measurement. On top of that, with my poor measurement, that would kind of throw me off a little bit. The other one is the vertical one. Vertical one, so that's 1, that's half, that's 0.75. You know what, I'm going to actually redo this and say it's more like 0.6, but let's verify it with the Q. So this gives me a value, oh, and then the negative, this would be negative, that would be negative, which makes sense. It's on the negative side because this is my negative Q side. Magnification is equal to negative Q over P, which was 5. So 5. Magnification is equal to 0.286. Multiply that by 2. 0.57. 0.6 is my new number from kind of a better measurement. And so I would go with those two answers. That makes sense to me. It's a positive magnification, which makes sense. It's going up, telling me that it is an erect one. It is on the negative Q side, which means it's virtual. Or I could look at it and say, hey, look, it's using dotted lines being negative. Either way works. With that, good luck on your final. Hopefully you have questions before you do it. You can practice any of these. If you just want to tweak P or F, you can make your own problems. And the formula and the diagram, they have to match. If they don't match, you're wrong. Relook at it, see what you did wrong. And it's usually the math part, but it could be you're not following your rules. If you're really stuck, write your rules for your race. It can help you. Good luck. I'll see you in the future.